Well, being in Kazanlak, I would like to show you another landmark which will be interesting to see. The Rosarium, much like the Rosengarten in the Volksgarten in Vienna, there is a park here with many roses all around, and I think that it will be interesting to see different types of roses.
Well, as I mentioned in one of my previous videos from Kazanlak, the oil-bearing rose, Rose de Messina, was brought to Bulgaria centuries ago from India through Persia, Syria and Turkey. In this fertile valley, the rose found its second home, and from here, the rose oil industry blossomed into one of the most significant cultural and economic symbols of the region. In 1837, German Feldmarschall Helmut von Moltke famously called Kazanlak the European Kashmir, the Turkish Gülistan, the land of roses. The key to Bulgaria's famous rose oil lies in its labor-intensive production process. To create just 1 kilogram of rose oil, nearly 3,500 kilograms of rose petals are needed. These delicate petals are carefully harvested by hand in the entirely morning when the essential oils are at their peak. The process of extracting rose oil, known as distillation, has been used since the 17th century. Initially introduced from Persia and India, the technique was refined in Bulgaria, where double distillation became the method of choice to improve both the quality and quantity of the final product.
And this is the Museum of the Roses, which is in the city garden in the Rosarium, and it's worth visiting it also.
In its early days, small copper stills known as gilfan were used for distilling the petals. By 1860, there were over 1,200 stills operating in the Kazanlak region alone. These stills produced rose oil stored in special containers called kulkumi. These vessels were crafted from copper and later tinned for long-term storage, some capable of holding up to 120 kilograms of precious rose oil. At the time, rose oil was traded globally, shipped from Bulgaria to major cities such as Paris, London and New York. Bulgarian rose oil became a cornerstone of European perfumery, earning accolades at world exhibitions in Vienna, Paris, Philadelphia, Chicago and more. The museum here showcases tools for tending rose gardens, vessels used for storing rose oil, and even a reconstruction of the first laboratory established in 1907 by Hristo Yorumov, dedicated to testing the purity of rose oil. The thing is that Yurumov's laboratory was critical in preserving the integrity of Bulgarian rose oil. At one point, a counterfeit product known as Tereșe, threatened the industry reputation. Thanks to Yeramov's efforts, the purity of Bulgarian rose oil was maintained, securing its status as the finest in the world. Today, Bulgaria remains the world's largest producer of rose oil, responsible for 70% of global output. Around 2 tons of this precious oil are produced each year, continuing a legacy that stretches back over 3 centuries.
That was the tour of the Museum of the Roses. It was also the tour of the rose gardens in the city park of Kazanlak.
The rose oil from Bulgaria is a key ingredient in many of the world's most famous perfumes, making its way from the rose fields of the Valley of Roses to the fashion capitals of the world. Visitors to Bulgaria can experience this unique tradition firsthand, from visiting the rose fields in bloom to purchasing rose oil, rose water, and other rose-based products, including cosmetics, rose liqueur, and even a traditional rose brandy. The next time you catch the scent of a fine perfume, remember it may just contain a drop of Bulgaria's treasured rose oil, the essence of centuries of tradition and craftsmanship.